Welcome back, Stew fans. I'm your host, Steve.
And I'm Leah. From claustrophobic jail cells, chilly igloos, underwater suites, or haunted hotels, today we talk about the odd accommodations you can book a room at if you dare.
Oh, I've stayed in some strange places, haven't you, Leah?
I've stayed at places with sticky carpet. So.
Right.
If you have an appetite for the strange and bizarre, then pull up a chair and grab a spoon for another intriguing serving of Remnant Stew. Remnant Stew is gluten-free, organic, made from all natural, free-range ingredients, and guaranteed to provide the recommended daily serving of curiosity.
Well, now look at the calendar. We are in mid-April, and so we should look at some of the unusual holidays that are coming up. April 13th is Burmese New Year. Did you realize it was Burmese New Year? So Happy New Year to everybody out there in Burma, all of our listening fans that are in Rangoon. On Burmese New Year, people celebrate Thingyan, Thingyan, our water festival. This is a Buddhist celebration. Everything revolves around water. Participants spray it on one another using buckets, water guns, and other items.
No, that sounds like a party.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Participants are also sprayed by large trucks with hoses stationed around the city. There are also water-themed rock concerts. Now that sounds like a good time right there, doesn't it? So Happy New Year in Burma.
So super soakers work great there.
Yeah, that's right. Which, by the way, now is called Myanmar. April 15th, of course, is Jackie Robinson Day. Jackie Robinson Day honors and commemorates the first African-American to play in the Major League Baseball. He played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, led them to 6 league championships and 1 World Series championship. Jackie's baseball uniform number was retired in 1997, all the way across major leagues. Beginning this date, Major League Baseball began a tribute to him. Each player wears the number 42 on this day.
Cool.
I love the movie 42 that came out a few years ago about Jackie Robinson. It's a really good movie. And then, this is right close to our hearts, April 24th, Independent Bookstore Day.
I can get behind that. I like that.
We like to honor independent bookstores here at Remnant Stew. Independent Bookstore Day encourages independent bookstores to promote events, parties, contests, live music, scavenger hunts, and any other events that can entertain and bring joy to the people. Besides the celebration, the observances also aim to emphasize that independent bookstores are not just common stores. They have meaningful value to communities and individuals. Independent bookstore, we've talked about that on our show before, how much they have meant to us in our own lives. Independent Bookstore Day occurs annually on the last Saturday of April. So happy Independent Bookstore Day.
April 24th.
Well, now it's getting on into springtime, and love this time of year. But a lot of you are probably starting to think, we didn't really have to go on any trips last summer, 2020, because of the COVID situation.
Right.
So hopefully things are going to be opening up a little bit more for us this year. And you're beginning to think about making some perhaps summer vacation plans. Well, one question that you'll want to answer is, where should we stay? That's what we here at Remnant Stew have done the legwork for you and scoped out the scene concerning weird and unusual hotels and accommodations.
So jot this down.
Yeah, get out that pencil. Now, Leah, I used to work with a fellow named J.D., and J.D. was a pretty wild kid when he grew up. He was a cowboy, and whenever we were at work, had a little break, he was always amazed at the lives that we hadn't lived, because he would often say things like, what, you ain't never been thrown off a horse? Or, what, you ain't never been bit by a snake? Or my favorite was, what, you ain't never spent the night in jail? Which, no, I have not.
I've been thrown off a horse. I haven't been arrested yet, though. Yet.
The rest of our staff was a constant disappointment to him. I've never spent the night in jail, but I actually did teach inside the Texas prison system for 3 years back in the late 80s. I have some interesting experiences there.
I bet you do.
But if you like to spend the night in jail without actually being arrested, perhaps one of these hotels that used to be prisons will do the trick. This comes to us from an article in Popular Mechanics. First one is the quirkily named Liberty Hotel in Boston. It was built in 1851 as the Charles Street Jail.
Okay, but it wasn't named Liberty Hotel back then.
No,
it was
called
the
the
jail.
Charles Street Jail.
And so they decided to name it Liberty.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Kind of a cute little play on words there, don't you think? Because you get to check out of this one whenever you want to, as opposed to the inmates that were housed there from the 1850s all the way up until the 1990s. In fact,
oh, wow,
that's a long
that's
time.
wow.
The taxpayers got their money's worth out of this particular jail,
they
didn't they? In the 70s, the prisoners actually revolted due to the poor conditions there.
So background music the whole time is Jailhouse Rocks.
There you go. I suppose so. Thank you, Phil. Now it's a 298-room luxury hotel. Architects were careful to preserve the basic structure of the building, including the catwalks that curve around the main atrium. We have a picture of this. I think
we do.
We'll go on. It looks very cool looking. Several of the rooms are located in an old cell block, and there's actually a restaurant there that's called The Clink. I understand they feature cakes with a file in it. Well, okay, I just made that part up.
Right, yeah.
But
That's
they do have jailhouse-themed meals at The Clink. Now, another one is called the Jailhouse Inn in Newport, Rhode Island. This one is older than the whole country. In fact, the Newport Jailhouse was built in 1772 to hold prisoners who are on their way to trial in other cities. Now, this isn't really what you'd call your high-security facility. As I saw a picture of it, it kind of looks more like a white frame house than a jail. In fact, it doesn't appear to have been terribly secure either, as several inmates escaped from here, including a rock mason who managed to loosen some bricks around his cell window. In 2005, it was renovated into a small hotel located in the heart of Newport. The 23-room jailhouse offers a unique combination of relaxed comfort and colorful history. Oh, yeah, they have free breakfast, too. That's always a nice draw. You can
3 hots and a cot, right?
find out more about them at www.jailhouse.com.
Cool.
Now, those of you who are on a budget, you might want to consider the High Ottawa Jail Hostel in Ottawa, Canada. This facility was used as a prison from 1862 until 1972.
Oh, goodness, 100 years.
110 years, yeah. The cells originally lacked lighting, heating, ventilation, and toilets. You know, Canadians, they can be kind of tough.
Wow.
They always get their man and put them in a jail. A year after it closed, the facility was acquired by the Canadian Youth Hostel Association, which renovated the facility and opened it in August of 1973 as a youth hostel for only $2 a night.
But did you get a toilet? Is my question.
I think they have actually upgraded the facilities a little bit. Now, today, you can go there and order their authentic jail experience package, which includes breakfast and Wi-Fi for about $40 per night. So, pretty budget-minded hotel there. Now, for those international travelers in our audience, you may want to consider the Alcatraz Hotel in, Kaiserslautern, Germany. Located in the heart of Kaiserslautern near the Japanese Garden. I'm just going to pause there for a second and let that soak in.
That's just such a conglomeration of, okay.
Yes. Where you can get a barely renovated room for about $60 per night.
Oh, no.
Or you might try the Jail Hotel in Lucerne, Switzerland, which was a prison from 1862 until 1998. They offer jail-inspired accommodations, including the Most Wanted Quadro, are the Twin Cell Unplugged, which features barred windows and bunk beds for that great incarcerated feeling.
I'm thinking that I'm not gonna do this.
You go all the way to Switzerland, a beautiful country, and just stay in a jail.
Stay in jail.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you might be thinking, I don't know, jails just aren't quite my thing.
I'm thinking that.
I'm thinking I want something, I don't know, maybe a little more, perhaps.
On the other end of the scale, maybe?
Well, perhaps. We have just the thing for you. Why not stay in a castle? Yeah,
Okay.
Castle sounds
Yes,
good.
let's
now,
do
now
that.
we're talking. Oh, now I got your attention.
Wait.
Now we're kind of lagging on the jail talk, but now
Not
castle.
the dungeon, but the castle.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the castle, not the dungeon.
Well, this is right up your alley, Phil, from jetsetter.com. And then, who
not?
exemplifies Jetsetter more? An article called The World's Best Castle Hotels. They let you live like royalty is their slogan. For example, how about the Ashford Castle in County Mayo, Ireland? Ashford Castle is over 800 years old and is the former home of the Guinness family. Yes, that
yeah.
Guinness family,
Okay.
the Guinness beer and the Guinness World Records. It has 82 rooms with romantic canopied beds, And they featured amenities such as leather thrones in the pedicure area. There you go, Leah. I'm sure that's right up your alley.
Yes, let's do that.
Of the spa. And a lime and ginger scrub. Now, I'm not quite sure what a lime and ginger scrub is. Do you scrub your ginger with a lime?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not sure how that goes.
Just keep going.
Okay. Well, anyway, whatever it is, that's what they got there. Oh, they also have a festive afternoon tea. But perhaps the highlight is that this castle is home to the oldest falconry school in Ireland. That's right.
That's kind of cool.
There you go. You can learn to master the ancient art of falconry with your very own bird of prey.
Okay, sign me up for that one.
That
Ask
sounds
for
like
castle.
an interesting one, yeah.
So is that how you get your lunch?
Yeah, you
You send it out to hunt for you.
right.
And, you know, it's 800 years old. It's an 800-year-old castle. It's got to be haunted. And in Ireland, it's got to be haunted.
Ireland, for sure. Or you might try the Sergen Palace in Istanbul, Turkey. This magnificent 300-room palace sits right on the banks of the famous Bosporus Strait. Of course, it features a variety of Turkish baths and spas, but what caught my eye is the fact that your bed comes with 6 pillows. However, if you're not satisfied with those, then you can select a replacement from their extensive pillow menu.
Yes.
You know?
Okay. How long did it take for somebody to come up with that?
The pillow menu.
But because now I sleep with a plethora of pillows, and that's an issue when I go to a hotel. I need more pillows.
I usually carry mine with me. I'll admit I carry my pillow with me.
I carry some of mine, but you know it would take a lot. So
perhaps you'd like to combine your love of castles with your appreciation for great American heroes. Well, then, Colzine Castle in Ayrshire, Scotland is the place for you. This majestic cliffside marvel, I think we have a picture of this one, in fact, on the southwest coast of Scotland, features a neoclassical tower library, a grand armory, and a dramatic oval staircase. But its claim to American fame is that President Eisenhower, during his time as Supreme Allied Commander during World War II, was gifted the entire top floor of the castle for his own use.
wow.
I imagine there were some pretty good soirees thrown there, even during the military times. Today, guests can live like Ike by staying in his revamped quarters.
Cool.
And then there's, oh boy, this is going to be a hard one
Yeah,
to
go
say.
ahead. Let's see.
Dornröschenschloss Saberberg Castle in Hofgeismar, Germany. Well, that just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
I'm sure you butchered that one.
Okay. How would anybody know?
They'll tell us.
They'll let us know.
Okay. Most locals simply call it the Saberberg. I can understand why
We'll
that
take
would
that
be
one.
the case. This castle dates back to 1334 and was the inspiration for the Grimm brothers' fairy tale Sleeping Beauty.
Oh,
Guests
cool.
can tour the beautifully wooded grounds, which included Tierpark Saberberg, which claims to be the world's oldest animal park. So there's a few unusual places to stay.
And now for something completely off topic and off kilter. Brace yourself for the oddity du jour.
Now, for our oddity du jour today, this comes to us from an article in Nature.com titled Rolling Away, a novel context-dependent escape behavior discovered in ants. That was
Okay.
a mouthful.
That was a mouthful.
I think a novel context-dependent escape behavior discovered in ants. Your kids ever have ant farms?
No, we never have. That was just not something I was going to do.
They're naturally occurring in your backyard.
Yeah, we
that's
have plenty
true.
of ants already here in our area, here in the greater Cut and Shoot area. But the ants, they are interesting creatures. I can remember as a kid watching the red ants that would make seemingly well-organized colonies in the pasture behind my house. And they actually cleared trails from one ant bed to the other. The article in Nature.com focuses on ants' defensive mechanisms. You realize ants defend themselves,
Well, I have to say, I was born and raised in Kentucky,
right?
and they had ants.
Uh-huh.
But then I moved to Texas where they have fire ants.
Yeah.
That was huge. That was different because I had never grown up around ants that bit you.
They're
And
offensive.
stung
when you
you.
get in fire ants, you know
So,
you've gotten in them. There's no doubt.
Absolutely.
Well, the article states that ants offer remarkable examples of both social and individual defense strategies, social meaning group defense. One example is the trap jaw ant, which can fasten its mandibles onto a hard object and use these powerful jaws to catapult themselves far away and out of danger. That sounds like a great superhero.
We
quality,
need to
don't you,
look
huh?
up a YouTube video of that. I want to see that.
Another example is the Malagasy cliff-dwelling ant, whose workers defend their nest from intruders by dropping off the cliff face while clinging to the invaders. So there's a spider coming after them. They all jump on them and hurl themselves over the cliff to save the rest of the nest.
So they're kamikaze ants.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Save the queen. Another group of tree-dwelling ants, Cephalopods aderatus, have developed the ability that when sensing danger, they hurl themselves into the air and glide in a spiral path back to the trunk of their home tree. So
Okay.
they just jump out and spin around in a circle. However, this article, this was actually a very long research, somebody's research project that I came across. And the one they were really excited about, a new defense method has just been discovered by researchers in the Mediterranean region among a species known as the Myrmecina, I messed that up, Myrmecina graminicula. Myrmecina ants react in a dynamic way upon enemy harassment. These tiny ants, only 3 millimeters in length, moved forward, curled into a ball, and rolled away, exploiting the slopes of the extreme uneven terrain. The researchers stated that this is exceptional behavior, as very few animals are known to intentionally roll. So let's hear it for the rolling ants and the intrepid researchers who study them. I wonder if they use magnifying glasses, you know. Ants.
They had to. So that's really interesting. So, like, do roly-polies do that? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't
think
they roll up
do.
and curl, but I don't know that they actually roll away. But
Huh.
these ants you roll up and let gravity do the rest, get them out of danger. Now, how about this is not our official trivia question, but this will be a softball, lob it in there kind of trivia question, as we're talking about different accommodations. How about the famous Eagles song "Hotel California"? Do you know what hotel was the actual inspiration behind that famous song? Have you heard this?
That was one of those songs that in my teenage years I played it over and over and over again, and I'm a little sick of it. But no, I really don't know what hotel was behind it.
Well, the answer is none. No hotel at all.
It's a trick question.
According to lead singer Don Henley, we were all middle-class kids from the Midwest. Hotel California was our interpretation of the high life in Los Angeles. So there you go.
Okay, so there may not have been an actual hotel in California that's located down a dark desert highway. But there is I
think there probably was, but anyway.
Well, not the one that they were talking about.
Not the one they were singing about.
There's a lot of that's such a weird song. It's such an ambiguous, maybe they were probably on drugs kind of song, and so there's a lot of there's a lot of speculation about the song and what it was about.
It's one of those songs that everybody knows, but nobody really knows what it was about.
Right. But there wasn't an actual hotel that they were singing about, there is an actual hotel pictured on the album.
Right.
And apparently Don Henley wanted the guy in charge of the album art to find a hotel and, quote, portray it with a slightly sinister edge. So good luck finding a hotel.
Hotel with a sinister edge, yeah. That's what people are wanting to stay at.
Well, Wikipedia says that 3 hotels were photographed, and the one that with the Beverly Hills Hotel in it was selected as the cover. The photographer shot the image 60 feet above Sunset Boulevard on top of a cherry picker, and I think I've read an article about how like traffic was going around him, how just dangerous
in the day
this
before
was.
drones, right?
Right. So as the image was taken from an unfamiliar vantage point in fading light, most people didn't really recognize the hotel. However, when the identity of the Beverly Hills Hotel was revealed, the hotel threatened legal action over the use of the image, until it was gently pointed out that the hotel's request for bookings had tripled since the release of the album. And then the rear album cover was shot in the lobby of the Lido Hotel in Hollywood. The image shows the same lobby but filled with members of the band and their friends. Henley said, "I wanted a collection of people from all walks of life. It's people on the edge, on the fringes of society." That's what he's saying about his own band and friends. But there is a shadowy figure. This is really interesting. There's up on the balcony above the lobby is this shadowy figure that appears, and there's a lot of speculation that it's a ghost in there. that showed up just for that album picture.
You wanted to have his picture taken, I see.
Okay, so talking
Prove it. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. There we go. And it's funny because there's all kinds of stories about that album, all the songs on there, and then there's the ghost on that
It makes
album
for interesting
art.
speculation.
Right. Okay, so hotel room trivia. Did you know that while lemon pledge is used to dust the surfaces of hotel rooms, it's also great to use for streak-free mirrors and drinkware? A secret of the hotel housekeeping is that pledge will make for sparkling glasses. So the next time you put a little water in your hotel room glass, take a sip, and if you have a weird chemical lemony aftertaste, you may have just taken a shot of pledge.
Does it make me bad that I still remember the Lemon Pledge commercial jingle from like 1968?
Go for it.
Lemon Pledge, very pretty.
I don't remember that one. Okay.
Sad ending, but a beautiful finish. Well, that was another joke, but anyway.
Okay, so moving on. Hotel sheets are almost always white, along with all the other hotel linen, such as towels and robes. And the reason for this is to make it easier to launder everything in hot water with a little bleach for disinfecting, and has the added benefit of making guests feel that the bed is fresh, crisp, and clean.
Ideally, yes.
Yeah, hopefully. Another thing about the sheets is that there's no fitted sheets. Have you ever noticed that?
Correct. Yeah, they're just two flat sheets.
That's
right?
two flat sheets. Housekeeping uses flat sheets on the mattress and just tucks the edges in real tightly. That way there's no difference in the sheets and they don't have to search for one of each. They just grab two folded sheets for each bed.
And it's faster to fold.
I think that they do it just to avoid trying to fold the fitted sheet.
Fast to fold.
Maybe we should just start a trend and do away with fitted sheets altogether.
I don't know. That's a little hard for me. I can fold a fitted sheet. That's one of my talents.
I can wad it up.
Also, when you are checking into a hotel and you have that you're celebrating an occasion like a honeymoon or a birthday or an anniversary, let the hotel staff know, because a lot of the times they'll make a fuss over you and give you free champagne, candy, or even possibly flowers. Also, another trivia thing to know, when checking in and checking out, the times may seem to be very rigid, but honestly, if you ask for early check-in or late check-out, most times you'll be accommodated.
That's right. I think, and especially in the last year, as hotels have had difficulties.
They've taken a hit.
They're,
That's right.
They've really had some difficulties, and so I know that they are reaching out to people and bending the rules even more so, perhaps.
So they say that the one hotel amenity that most people don't make use of is the concierge. They're there to make your stay a whole lot more pleasant, so don't hesitate to ask them for recommendations on sightseeing or dining. And they're also adept at booking things like taxis, theater tickets, and more. So don't forget the concierge.
And don't forget to tip the concierge.
True. Absolutely true. One last thing is, if your travel plans have changed and you either don't have free cancellation or have missed the deadline, then don't cancel your reservation at all. Instead, reschedule it. A lot of times that's free. Hotels are typically happy to do this for you. And then if you want to be super shady about it, cancel the rescheduled date within the free cancellation period.
Be nice to your hotel.
Also, have you noticed one thing you can always count on being in a hotel room drawer?
Oh, yeah, the Gideon Bible.
The Gideon Bible. But why? Who is Gideon, and why does he leave his Bible all over the place? Well, the Bible that you find in hotel rooms doesn't actually belong to a man named Gideon, nor is it his special translation. Mm-hmm. It's usually the King James Version of the Bible, gifted to the hotel by an evangelical Christian association called Gideon's International.
Right.
According to Wikipedia, Gideon's International, founded in 1899 in Wisconsin, for the primary activity of giving out Bibles for free. Mm-hmm. The Bible distribution is worldwide, taking place in around 200 countries. So the way it got its start in 1898, there were two traveling businessmen, John H. Nicholson and Samuel E. Hill, who both tried to get a room for the night at the Central Hotel in Boscobel, Wisconsin. You think that's it? The hotel was very crowded, though, and only had one double room left, so the two strangers decided to share it. During their stay, the men got to talking and found that they shared a common faith, and they had both toyed with the idea of creating an evangelical association for Christian businessmen. They decided to embark on this enterprise together, and that's how Gideon's International was created the following year.
Nice.
Now, they don't go in and place the Bibles in all the rooms themselves, but they conduct a small ceremony at newly opened hotels, and they present the Bibles to the property's general manager.
Right.
And then they also replace worn out or missing Bibles, and in fact, they would really like for you to take the Bible with you when you check out.
Oh, so you can take it with you.
You can take it with you. And instead of that thou shalt not steal thing, it doesn't apply here.
Well, I've heard stories of people who were going through difficult times in their lives and were happened to be at a hotel and found comfort in the Gideon Bible that was there. So it's a good thing that they're doing.
And I always check it for money. Because if you're going to hide money, that's anyway. I don't know. I've never found
thought
any.
About that,
so.
but no. Well, now let's back to some hotels. Maybe jails or castles just aren't your thing. You're thinking, I want to stay at some place that's really cool.
Oh goodness.
Well, you can't get much cooler than a hotel that's also an igloo, right?
Oh.
According to a Fodder's article titled "The 10 Coolest Ice Hotels." Now, this first one is not actually made of ice. It's called the Hotel Kakslautanen Igloo Village in Saariselkä, Finland.
And we're just going to we a blanket apology for all of these pronunciations.
We've got a picture of this one, and it looks way, way cool.
I've seen pictures of it for a long time, and I've told my husband I want to go there.
Right.
I want to go. It's so neat looking.
The igloos are made of a frost-resistant thermal glass built in an igloo shape. The pictures on the website look amazing. In fact, if you go to www.kakslautanen.fi for Finland, you can see pictures of it. Guests can relax warm and cozy in their glass igloos and enjoy spectacular views of the northern lights as well as spectacular stars in the winter night sky. It just looks like the coolest place ever. Really, really, really looks amazing. But you might be thinking that glass igloos are for sissies.
Totally what I was thinking.
You want the real experience. Well, then you're in luck. The Igloo Dorf Gstaad in Oberland, Switzerland features real, genuine igloos for you to enjoy. Each of the suites inside this igloo village is connected by an intricate tunnel system where up to 42 guests can sleep beneath the snow-packed ceilings of this icy retreat. Rooms vary from heated suites for 6 people to romantic caverns with carved ice sculptures lining the wall. But now let's say you want a real hardcore experience. Well, the Igloo Dorf also offers a build-your-own love nest program where couples can construct their own igloo from handmade ice blocks. That sounds like a marriage killer to me.
Yeah, right.
Hey, hon,
30 minutes.
Hey, hon, I've booked us into this, and we're going to build our own igloo. Isn't that be great? Huh?
Oh, I'm going to call me an Uber and get out of there. Like a snowmobile, right?
Then, of course, there's the famous Ice Hotel near Kiruna, Sweden. The Ice Hotel is built from fresh frozen water, not that stale water, but fresh frozen water from the Torn River. Guests can arrive by dog sled to enjoy this unique wonder that is entirely made of ice. Even the plates and glasses in the restaurant are ice. The beds are surprisingly comfortable as they are blocks of ice covered in reindeer skins. I'm not sure whose opinion that was.
Right.
Surprisingly comfortable, but okay, we'll take their word for it. Guests can enjoy a ski-through photography and light exhibit that details how the hotel was constructed. Snowmobile and reindeer sleigh rides through the neighboring evergreen forest are our favorite activities of guests. That sounds like a pretty cool deal right there.
I'm still stuck
cool.
on the ski-through photo op.
Now, you might be thinking, what about folks over here on this side of the Atlantic? Aren't there any igloo hotels in North America? Sure, we got them right up the road in Quebec City, Canada. The Hotel de Glace in Quebec City is just a few minutes from downtown Quebec City. The glittering Hotel de Glace features 42 rooms, and I believe glace is ice in French, 42 rooms and incredible snow art. When you arrive at the Hotel de Glace, you are greeted with a cocktail and an ice glass, and you enjoy it while standing around tables made of ice. Their website boasts, "Come and live a magical night in one of our 42 rooms and suites." Okay. Outside the hotel, there are hills where you can go sledding or snow tubing. Oh, snow tubing is fun. I like that.
I've done that. That is really cool.
They even offer ice workshops where you can learn to make your own ice cocktail glasses. So that's the really cool places to stay.
I really like some warm places.
You might be thinking, prisons and castles and igloos. Oh my! Okay, that was this little Wizard of Oz reference. Anyway, that all sounds terrific, but I have a desire to travel somewhere different, like off the beaten path, maybe way off the beaten path. Well, let me ask you: have you ever considered Russia? That's right. The geographically largest country in the world, it covers 11 of the 24 time zones, is home to some of the most unusual hotels that you can imagine. This comes to us from a website called Russia Beyond. We find a unique collection of unusual hotels in the immense country. Let's start with the Sovietsky Hotel in Moscow. Now, you remember old Stalin. He always wanted things that were big, and this hotel is no exception. In fact, grandiose would be a better description. Located in the heart of Moscow, this hotel was the site of many Communist Party extravaganzas. Who cares about those starving peasants anyway? In fact, you can rent deluxe suite number 301, where Stalin's son Vasily lived high on the hog. Prices start around $300 per night.
I think we have a picture of this one. It is very nice looking.
It's pretty glary, that's for sure. Now, you might ask, just where did those communist bigwigs go on their vacation? Well, most of them had their own dacha, which is a country house or cottages, especially used for vacation home. These were often located in warmer regions near the Caspian Sea or in the hills of the attractive Tula region, some 120 miles south of Moscow. This is where you can stay in the Bolotov dacha. Their slogan is, this is a great slogan, wildfowl, comfort, and culture. Wildfowl, comfort, and culture.
Sign me up.
I can't think of three things that go together better. They advertise fresh air, meals served at a communal table, and a break from the fast-paced big city life. The Tula region is known for the manufacture of musical instruments and was also the home and the burial place of the famous author Leo Tolstoy. So you can do a little historical sightseeing right there and read it while you're at the dacha.
And get tuned up.
There you go.
Oh, goodness.
Now, that might be too swank for you. Maybe you'd like something simpler. Well, how about the Leap Rus Capsule Hotel on Mount Elbrus? This hotel is located at near 12,000 feet above sea level on the southern slope of Mount Elbrus, which is the highest mountain in Russia. The small facility is tube-shaped and can accommodate up to 12 guests at a time. We have a picture of this one, too, I believe.
We do.
In order to reach the hotel, you got to hitch a ride on a snow caterpillar. Guests who make the journey are rewarded with 3 buffet meals a day and stunning mountain views. It's really stunning location when you take a look at it. So there are some really out-of-the-way places to stay.
Well, speaking of out-of-the-way places, the Eiffel Tower in Paris is one of the most, that's not exactly out of the way, but
right.
It's one of the most recognizable, most visited famous landmarks of all time.
It's beautiful.
It is a wrought iron lattice tower whose construction was completed in 1889 by architectural engineer Gustave Eiffel. It was designed and built to be the entrance to the 1889 World's Fair. Well, according to Wikipedia, the tower has 3 levels for visitors, with restaurants on the first and second levels, and the top level's upper platform is 906 feet above ground. The highest observation deck accessible to the public in the European Union. Right. Tickets can be purchased. Now, have you been to the Eiffel Tower?
I was in the summer of 2019. My wife and I went to the top, and it was the sun was going down. It was really, really beautiful. Oh. I've taught about and shown pictures of the Eiffel Tower for all my teaching career, but I wasn't prepared to be stunned and blown away by it. It's just really stunning when you see it in person.
I have never been, but here, again, according to Wikipedia, tickets can be purchased to ascend by stairs or elevator to the first and second levels.
It is still the original elevator from 1889.
Oh, that's amazing. The climb from ground level to the first level is over 300 steps, as is the climb from the first to the second. Although there's a staircase at the top level, it's usually accessible only by elevator. Now, the reason that I mentioned this in the hotels is that a little-known secret is that Gustave Eiffel designed a small apartment built near the top of the structure just for him.
Right.
The secret space included a living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. Without a bedroom, this dwelling was primarily designed to comfortably accommodate notable guests and for Gustav Eiffel to have a unique place to work.
I believe there's a famous picture of him entertaining Thomas Edison in this.
That's right, and I love we're going to put the picture in there.
Right.
I am a steampunk junkie, and so this apartment, it's got paisley wallpaper and wood surfaces, right. And then it's got the girders going through, the iron and riveted girders going through it. So it said that the Parisians that knew about the place would offer up a small fortune to rent it for a single night, but Eiffel refused.
Right.
He consistently refused. There was a short time, though, in the summer of 2016 that a vacation rental site offered stays in an adjacent space,
right?
Which was, they say it was a little more than an unused conference room.
Right. Just kind of a small room.
Right.
Not like our palatial studios here, but a small room.
But the apartment, Gustav's apartment, is now available for the public to tour. It's a recreation of his office, which exhibits wax sculptures of Gustav Eiffel, his daughter Claire, and Thomas Edison.
Right, yes.
That's right. This scene is a reminder of when the famous inventor visited Paris in 1889 and gifted Eiffel one of the first sound recording devices ever made.
When I was there, you can look into the little apartment through the window, and it's really stunning to be up there, and the view is amazing. And it's amazing today. I can imagine though thinking in 1889 what people felt going up to such incredible heights, at that time.
Wow, it's beautiful. So, okay, and here is another out-of-the-way place. I've always thought it would be super relaxing to stay in a hotel room under the sea, where you could lie in bed and see the fish swimming all around you. Well, apparently I'm not the only one who thinks this, because there are now several hotels that feature this unique experience. But according to CNBC.com, the first resort to have the world's first all-glass underwater hotel suite is the 5-star island resort Conrad Maldives Rangali Island. Named, I don't know if this is Muraka, something like that. The undersea hotel room is a 2-level structure. So floating on the top level, on top of the water, is a living room, bedroom, glass bathroom.
Right.
I'm not sure I'd like that. With a bathtub facing the sea, kitchen, bar, gym, butler quarters, and an infinity pool and deck facing the sunset. I could get used to all of that, though. A spiral staircase takes you down to the underwater suite that sits 16.5 feet below sea level on the ocean floor. It's got a king-size bedroom, living area, and another glass bathroom that you could see. But at least that one's a little bit more private.
A little more privacy down there, I guess.
The scuba diver.
Except for scuba divers, but... the suite has an acrylic dome-shaped ceiling and all-glass walls that provides an all-encompassing view of the undersea world with all of the marine life. There's coral and there's sharks, and it's just beautiful. The suite can accommodate up to 9 guests, and the resort also features an underwater restaurant. I did not get a price for this, though. I'm pretty sure
I'm guessing it's pretty pricey. But,
probably.
I'm thinking to construct something like that can stand the weight underwater with glass would be pretty expensive to build. And
which you don't care about glass bathrooms.
I don't know.
Well, okay, so we're talking about further and further, Russia, castles, jails, and now we've gone underwater. So you might think, now you're on the right track. But I want to go somewhere that's really isolated. Yeah, the ocean, that's sort of isolated, but I want to go somewhere really isolated. You might want to fire up the pun counter here, Phil.
Oh, joy.
Well, we've got just the place for you. In the old Soviet province of Ukraine, which is now an independent country, there is a place where you can stay that is a real blast from the past.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, this place has glowing reviews. In fact, we can think of nothing more radically positive than staying in the Hotel Desyatka in the exclusion zone surrounding the defunct Chernobyl nuclear plant.
Get your glow on, folks.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, the puns.
From a website called the Society for Gentlemen Explorers comes an article detailing a stay deep in the exclusion zone in the last hotel in Chernobyl. The hotel.
We can't see you coming, but we'll see you going.
Right. The hotel is a flat 2-story building wrapped in yellow corrugated metal, giving it the appearance, noted one review, of a giant shipping container.
This is sounding wonderful. Just lovely.
But according to the website, the interior is like most any modest hotel, including a staffed lobby and maids cleaning in the hallway. The rooms are in the Soviet style, which is a nice way of saying sparse. There is also an attached restaurant. According to one review, the food is okay, traditional Ukrainian fare, and probably the only place you'll be glad to hear that the food hasn't been locally sourced.
And your keys have built-in Geiger counters?
Yeah, I understand one of their specialty meals is fusion chips.
Sweet.
There you go. Anyway, you can. What can you do after you check in? Well, another review writes, after checking in, we sat outside the hotel to explore downtown Chernobyl, heeding the hotel's advice. Put a barrier in the way of radiation, wear garments with a minimum of seams and zippers, change shoes you don't mind throwing away in the event of contamination, use wet wipes to wipe radioactive dust accidentally. I never knew wet wipes were that good. Wow. All kinds of use.
This is great. And don't sit on anything.
Don't sit on anything, right. Evidently, you can be free to walk around the now abandoned city of Pripyat, which lies entirely in the exclusion zone and only about 3 miles from the infamous nuclear plant.
Now, wait, do you have to sign a disclaimer, I wonder? That's crazy.
I don't. I think you just know going in you're in radioactive area.
I don't know that insurance would be happy with you because this would not be a pre-existing condition when you get back.
Now, I have heard, though, that the wildlife has just flourished.
It has.
In Chernobyl.
Although they warned people not to eat them, but,
and that may be why they flourished.
It could be. Well, there's it's basically a 20-mile diameter circle around the old site that has just nobody living in. Well, now finally, no listing of weird hotels could be complete without mentioning the Ryangnyong Hotel, aka the Hotel of Doom, in Pyongyang, North Korea.
Yeah, listen. I'm not sure that's a place I want to go.
This comes from Insider.com. Now, before you call your travel agent, let's explain that this 105-story hotel has never hosted a single guest. Mm-hmm. At 1,080 feet, it is the tallest unoccupied structure in the world, according to Guinness, those Guinness folks we talked about earlier. Construction began in 1987 with financial backing from the old Soviet Union. However, when the USSR crashed in 1990, the financing for the project dried up. The exterior was completed in 1992, but the interior has never been completed. At the very top of the building, an 8-story cone-shaped section was supposed to feature a revolving restaurant, but this also remains empty. It is estimated that it would cost $2 billion to complete the building, which amounts to about 5% of the country's annual gross domestic product. So, rather than
not going to happen, is what?
Right. So rather than complete the building, Kim Jong-un instead ordered the installation of over 100,000 flat-screen panels on the building's exterior in order to create a gigantic message board which naturally includes political slogans and party symbols.
Right.
There are currently no plans or financing in place to complete the building. Now, it's got to be something to take your biggest failure and make propaganda out of it.
Right. Well, everything's for propaganda. Everything.
Now for today's bookshop spot, the part of the show where we take you on a virtual tour of one of the most magical of places, an independent bookshop.
Today's bookshop is actually a chain of three bookshops. The Bookhouse of Stuyvesant Plaza, the Little Book House, and Market Block Books. But I only have 2 addresses for them, one in Albany, New York, and one in Troy, New York. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, but they are online at bhny.com. And they're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They offer new books. They regularly, in normal times, host readings and signings by local and nationally recognized authors and sponsor over 40 book clubs, as well as off-site book-selling events. Their location in Troy, it's specified right here. The location in Troy is in the Market Block building, a very old brick building on the corner of River and 3rd Street. In keeping with the neighborhood charm, it has the feel of a Victorian-era bookshop, complete with antique bookcases and a sliding ladder bookcase. Listen.
Ooh, that sounds fun. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. I can play like I'm Beauty and the Beast, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
very good.
I heard that the renovated Grand Ballroom upstairs, which now hosts Warner Brothers, used to host dances designed to lure young men during the Civil War.
Nice. Nice. That sounds like a great venue.
Then the young men were all signed up to fight for the Union. Uncle Sam, that notorious purveyor of the finest tainted meats, was from Troy, New York, and his statue is out front of the building.
There's a statue of Uncle Sam there?
Yes.
Now, Troy and Albany are right next to each other.
Okay, so, all right, there we go.
Both in upper state New York. Nice.
Now, I love this. Huckleberry is their bookstore dog. He is a High Peaks hiking dog. And I guess what that means is they say that he has done over 20 Adirondack high peaks. So I guess that means... he's
made a lot of climbs.
A lot of climbs,
awesome.
A lot of mountain climbs.
I haven't been to upstate New York, but I've heard it's really beautiful in the mountains that are there. And everybody said it's very scenic, so it sounds like it's in a pretty area.
And so if you are in that area, visit them. Or again, their website, visit them online, is bhny.com. That's the book house of Stuyvesant Plaza.
Great.
Now, we can't end this without talking about some creepy hotels. The Bates Motel is the epitome of creepy accommodations. It was a fictional hotel in Alfred Hitchcock's movie Psycho. And then also, and that fictional movie motel was supposed to be located on a lonely old highway approximately 20 miles from the town of Fairvale, California. Mm-hmm. But in the more recent A&E family drama series Bates Motel, the location of the motel is Vancouver, British Columbia. But there's actually no motel in either of those places, and so you can't stay there except
wait, there's more.
Wait. In March of 2015, when a Bates Motel replica sprung up in Austin, Texas,
that's
of all places.
Well,
our good old state capital.
Well, it sprung up just in time to promote season 3 of the TV series, and for a very short time, the motel was taking overnight guests. One of the rooms featured blood stains in the bathtub, in the shower.
No, why not?
Unlike the Bates Motel, the Overlook Hotel was featured. Right, there's a difference. It was featured in Stephen King's novel and the subsequent movie, The Shining, is based on the very real Stanley Hotel, a 142-room colonial revival hotel located in Estes Park, Colorado.
Beautiful place. Now,
in a 1977 interview by the Literary Guild, King recounted, "While we were living in Boulder, Colorado, we heard about this terrific old mountain resort hotel and decided to give it a try. But when we arrived, they were just getting ready to close for the season, and we found ourselves the only guests in the place, with all these long, empty corridors. King and his wife were served dinner in an empty dining room accompanied by canned orchestral music." He says, quote, "Except for our table, all the chairs were up on the tables. So the music is echoing down the hall, and I mean, it was like God had put me there to hear that and see those things. And by the time I went to bed that night, I had the whole book, The Shining, in my mind."
Inspiration.
Wow. So in spite of having a quiet history before the debut of the novel, The Shining, the Stanley Hotel has since gained quite a reputation for being a hotbed of paranormal activity.
Well, of course.
So capitalizing on that notoriety, the hotel now offers historic tours during the day and ghost tours at night. Now, how cool would that be? I would love to go there.
And now it's time, boys and girls, for the Trivia Challenge.
Okay, so we have a winner for the Trivia Challenge on our Twins episode.
That was a great one.
And it took a while for anyone to answer. But Nellie Clausen's the winner.
Yay, Nellie!
She said she held off because she had to Google it and didn't think that was fair. But I'm thinking...
She still beat everybody else.
Google away. Because
that's some good
who knows,
Google, too, if you
who knows all of the stuff in your head. Anyway, the question was... what famous twins were compared to an apple that had been cut in half? And the answer is Sebastian and Viola in Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. It's said of the twins.
I would not have known that at all.
Yeah, right in your head.
We need the high school English teacher for that.
Can you imagine who would
We'd
know
still
that without
Google that
Googling?
I know
Right.
a few English teachers that probably would, but mostly not.
So to quote the play, how have you made a division of yourself? An apple cleft in two is not more twin than these two creatures. Again, talking about Viola and Sebastian. And congratulations, Nellie.
Yay, Nellie. Thank you.
So this episode of Odd Accommodations Trivia Challenge goes like this. And let me tell you something. I tried really hard, and I think I did it. I think I really did it this time to make this not Google friendly. Okay?
Okay.
What does a well-known 19th century English logician, mathematician, photographer, and novelist have to do with the modern-day motel? And I'm not looking for
You
a
stayed
place.
at the Super 8 in Hope, Arkansas.
We'll keep a light on for you.
I'm not looking for a place. So what did this, and he's better known as a novelist, what did this novelist have to do with the modern day motel? And you know how it works. Number one, like and follow our Facebook page at Remnant Stew Podcast. Like and share this episode post, the Odd Accommodations episode post. Put your answer to the trivia challenge question in the comments of that post, and the first person to do all of that will be the winner. Good luck.
Man, that's a tough question. You
Happy
outdid
hunting.
yourself, Leah.
And if no one gets it, I will give a hint at the end of the day. So Remnant Stew is created by me, Leah Lamp. Dr. Judy Meeker and I research, write, and host each episode. Judy Meeker lends a hand with our research as well as handling our bookshop spot info. Our audio is produced by Philip Sinquefield. Theme music is by Kevin MacLeod with voiceover by Morgan Hughes. You can connect with us through our Facebook and Instagram or through our email at staycurious@remnantstew.com. Let us know if any weird hotels you've stayed in.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, bring it.
We want to hear your stories.
Bring it. Or any topics you'd like to hear us cover in future episodes. Or you know what? Just say hi. We love to hear from you.
Exactly. Before you go, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss an episode. Please take the time to give us a review on iTunes. There's a convenient link on our website to make it easy for you. Share Remnant Stew with your friends, family, concierge, bellboy, and taxi driver. And until next time, please choose to be kind and always stay curious.